Topic 1. The United States imposes tariffs on European goods, potentially disrupting the long-standing trade relationship between the US and Europe. The trade relationship between the United States and the European Union, EU, is considered one of the most significant commercial ties globally. However, President Donald Trump has hinted at imposing high tariffs on European products due to trade imbalances. While he previously set a 20% tariff on EU goods, he temporarily reduced it to 10% to stabilize financial markets and buy time for negotiations. Trump has expressed dissatisfaction with the EU's negotiation stance, warning that tariffs could rise to 50%, significantly increasing prices for various European products in the US. The EU hopes to find a solution through negotiations, but if they fail, they are preparing retaliatory tariffs on US goods, which could lead to higher prices for American consumers. Topic 2. China imposes import restrictions on medical devices in response to an EU ban, indicating ongoing trade disputes. China has announced restrictions on government purchases of medical devices from the EU in response to the EU's ban on Chinese medical device purchases. This measure applies to purchases exceeding 45 million yuans, approximately $6.3 million, and is seen as retaliation for the EU's exclusion of Chinese companies from public tenders. The EU claims that China does not provide fair market access to EU companies, prompting these restrictions. In response, China stated it had no choice but to implement reciprocal measures against the EU's protectionist actions. Additionally, China plans to limit imports of medical devices containing over 50% EU components, and has imposed anti-dumping duties on European brandy, viewed as a response to the EU's electric vehicle tariffs. Topic 3. OPEC Plus announces an increase in oil production by 548,000 barrels per day, starting in August, addressing global energy demands. OPEC Plus has decided to increase oil production by 548,000 barrels per day, starting in August. This decision was made during a video conference involving 8 member countries, including Saudi Arabia and Russia, citing stable global economic outlooks and low oil inventories. This production increase follows a previous decision to gradually raise production by 2.2 million barrels per day over 18 months until the fall of 2026. The move aims to meet global energy demands and is expected to help stabilize oil prices, which had surged due to recent conflicts between Israel and Iran. Topic 4. Federal Reserve officials advocate for a cautious approach to interest rate decisions due to ongoing uncertainty surrounding tariffs. Raphael Bostic, president of the Atlanta Federal Reserve Bank, warned that changes in U.S. trade policy and geopolitical situations could lead to long-term inflation. He argued that the Federal Reserve should adopt a wait-and-see approach before adjusting interest rate policies, supporting Chairman Jerome Powell's stance despite pressure from President Trump for rate cuts. Bostic emphasized that it is not the right time to make significant changes to interest rate policies amid considerable economic uncertainty. Similarly, Tom Barkin, president of the Richmond Federal Reserve Bank, stressed the importance of a cautious approach, highlighting the difficulty in assessing the impact of tariffs on the economy. Topic 5. Cyberattack on Qantas highlights the vulnerability of human error in cybersecurity. A recent cyberattack on Qantas Airlines has revealed vulnerabilities stemming from human error. Cybercriminals managed to steal personal information from 6 million customers through an overseas IT call center. This incident is part of a series of cyberattacks targeting large corporations in Australia, including Optus and Medibank. The attacks primarily utilize social engineering techniques to deceive IT help desks and bypass multi-factor authentication. Notably, the rise of vishing, a phone scam technique, has been observed, where attackers gain trust through prior research on